Hello Year 1, today's story is Knights and Dragons Unite and it is a Twinkl original. I hope you enjoy it as it's a really sweet story. The noble knights of Stombart are the bravest in the land. They trained to fight the dragons with their swords and shields in hand. Sir Gorrel was uncomfortable with swords and angry steeds. He found it all too scary and preferred to do good deeds. The mighty Dracton dragons were the fiercest in the world. They trained to fight the knights with giant flames that blazed and whirled. Young Alistar disliked the flames which scorched as they shot by. She found it all too scary and preferred the cooling sky. One morning, while the knights were all in training for a fight, Sir Gorrel slipped away towards the woods and out of sight. And as the dragons roared and shot their flames into the air, it got too much for Alistar, who crept out of the lair. Sir Gorrel skipped along till something stopped him in his tracks. "Hello, is someone there?" he called, unable to relax. Sir Gorrel saw a dragon with a blue and scaly snout. "Don't hurt me," said the two of them together with a shout. "Oh, I would never hurt you," they responded, both confused. The presence of a friendly foe had left them quite bemused. "Don't worry," said Sir Gorrel. "I'm just keeping out the way, as fighting makes me nervous and they're practising today." "Me too," responded Alistar. "I find the flames too hot. I hate the fact that dragons have to breathe them such a lot. If only we weren't enemies, we wouldn't need to fight, and maybe if we worked together, things would be all right." Then suddenly Sir Gorrel turned to Alistar and said, "Forget this silly training, let's put on a show instead." They put their heads together and devised a cunning scheme to join the knights and dragons into one united team. They laughed and worked all afternoon with growing hopeful grins. This plan could bring a peaceful truce where everybody wins. They headed for the castle where the knights all gazed in shock. "How did you catch a dragon?" asked the biggest knight, Sir Jock. "I didn't," said Sir Gorrel. "She's not scary, she's my friend. We've come up with a plan to bring our squabbles to an end." Then Alistar took flight, and as she did, their plan was clear. The banner flew behind them and Sir Gorrel gave a cheer. The message in the sky said, "Knights and dragons all unite. Join forces for a friendship-building talent show tonight." They headed next to Dracton Lair to show off their new plan. The dragon shouted at Alistar, "How did you catch this man?" "I didn't," she responded. "He's not scary, he's my friend. We've come up with a plan to bring our squabbles to an end." Then Alistar flew back towards the village from the wood and headed for the castle where the great arena stood. They worked until the sun went down and left a dusky glow, preparing all the things they need for putting on a show. The knights back at the castle huddled tightly in a scrum. A show seemed odd to many, but it did appeal to some. "I do quite like to juggle," said Sir Thea with a smirk. "And I've been known to dance a wicked rumba," said Sir Kirk. The dragons back at Dracton were all huddled in a scrum. A show seemed odd to many, but it did appeal to some. "I am quite good at singing," Ruxley mentioned, feeling shy. "And Cloudy said I might give writing poetry a try." Sir Gorrel sat with Alistar upon an empty stage. The audience consisted of a donkey and a page. "At least we tried," said Alistar. "I guess they just don't care." But then as she was talking, raucous laughter filled the air. They looked up to the sky and saw the most amazing sight, a whole host of flying dragons, each one carrying a knight. Sir Thea called, "I guess we can give this thing a go." "It's worth a try," called Maddox. "Now let's get on with the show." The audience were captured by the a cappella squires, and Maddox and Sir Trundlefoot did somersaults on wires. A group of street performers brought the house down with a roar, and Knit United knitted like they'd never done before. Their lives were much more wholesome with new talents and new friends. They realised that life becomes more fun when fighting ends. And that is the story of Alistar and Sir Gorrel. I hope you enjoyed. Speak soon!